Hello, hi everyone.
Hello.
How are your weekend?
Great. How was yours?
Good, good.
Awesome.
Yeah, weekend is good. Good time to relax a little bit. So everyone received the brochure about advertising with VA, right? It is a long, long document. Can we all open it and take a look now? Let's give everyone 3 minutes. We are learning from Amazon. I think every meeting, everyone has to stop for 10 minutes reading all the documents before they talk. That's Amazon.
Is this a corporate sponsorship one with MWR and the Army? Is that the one?
Yeah, if we want to sponsor them or advertise with them, these are the costs. Yeah, the media kit that they send us. So everyone should read and go through it. It's like over 40 pages long. There's many, many ways to advertise with them.
I don't know that I have that document.
It should be in the meeting invite in your calendar.
Let me take a look.
I provide the link in the
Oh, yeah.
chat for this
I
meeting.
see it.
You can
Thank
use the link. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can start now. So we all know that VA is a big market and a good market, and we want to get into that market. But it's not easy for some reason. I myself experience it. I haven't tried seriously enough. I haven't tried, but I have some encounter, some situation working with VA, and the borrower for some reason they are weird. I'll rate a lot better, but for some reason they won't choose us. I don't know why. This is probably why you see that big lender that target VA, they even changed their name. The biggest lender that target VA, they use like VA United, Veteran United, all kind of crazy name that have military or VA or Navy in the name, so that the VA will trust them and believe in them, that they are part of the government, and they won't go with anyone else. It's really weird, and I don't know why. Any of you have any idea? Can share if you have any experience dealing with VA?
I have some experience, but you're absolutely right. What they do is they think that those people are the VA loaning the money. They truly believe that. It is an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's really weird. And it is very difficult to advertise because we don't know where are they? How do we target them? It's really strange. But I realized one thing, that now we have social media, and that is the best way to approach them. But then I try to get to know some of the realtor that work with VA, and they completely don't want to respond to me. And then I try to get to some social media groups that have a lot of VA. They want to block me out. They don't want me in there. It's like exclusive for them. Not money in there. So you might want to try that. That's my recommendation. Because if you go to this media kit, you see that it is expensive. It's very expensive. And you know that with most of the advertisement, it might not be effective. We might just throw money away. Okay. So this is what I understand. You might have different experience or your thought, and let's share your experience. If you have any experience, you can share with all of us. Anyone have any experience dealing with VA?
Hi, Tuan. This is Kiri. I can jump in a little bit. So I did cold calling at VA, so I had that Swiss Limited. I also did the door knocking at the VA hospital, the military base. Had some limited success with that also. But key thing is getting into like these big military bases around. I live in Huntington Beach, so there are a few military bases around here. And I did go into one military base, but I was talking to military members there, and I got kicked out after about 1 hour. But I had 1 hour in there.
Where is it, Curry? What military base?
So I went to a military base out here. I live in Huntington Beach, so there are a few military bases out here. One is in Los Alamitos, one in Seal Beach, and then there's a couple more down south. I did hit the military base out here in Los Alamitos. I went in there. I was able to roam around for about almost an hour actually. Then I was asked to leave after that
Exactly inside the military base.
inside the military base. So
Because the last week I went to Hawaii. I tried to enter an active military base and they turned me around. And then I also went to a NEX, it's Naval Exchange. It's a huge store, bigger than Costco, where they sell everything to the military. The military personnel can buy it as a discount and no tax. So all of the veterans go there to buy stuff. And there's a food court in there. So they hang out there, they eat there. And I saw some kiosks there. We can have a kiosk in there too. So that is what I recommend. If you live near military base, do that. We can have a kiosk there. And I would love to, if anyone want to try that, I would love to explore with you. I might wonder, if you can come up with the cost and all that, we might share that kiosk. We can go there. We can stay there like every day, and we can take turn. We can take turn to be there. There's so many people there. And just something more about VA that we need to know. VA is not a normal buyer. They buy a lot of house. They don't care the market condition. They buy house, they invest. They get free money from the government. It's a living allowance. So they have an option of living inside the military or outside. But living inside the military is like living in a prison. There's so much restriction. And nobody want to live inside. And the government know that. The government has a lot of money for VA. So they say, hey, you live outside, I give you living allowance, a lot of money. So they take that money to buy house. And after 3 years at the base, they sell it, make the profit and move on. Or they can keep it to invest more. And that's why you notice the pattern. They travel different base and they buy house there. They keep buying. So that is one of the reasons why in Hawaii, the housing price is so expensive. I mean, the local people make very little income. It's very strange. If you take a look, their area median income is way, way lower than California. But their home price probably more than California. So first we need to understand them first. And then we try to target them. So the kiosk is the good thing. If Curry or any of you live near the military base, please try that. Okay. So that company that produced the media kit is the one that you should reach out to. Try to contact them. I think, Ryan, can you provide an update? You tried to contact them last week.
Yeah,
they get back
did try to contact, but they haven't gotten in contact. So I'm wondering if it's because they kind of research about me, if I'm a civilian or something, before they're getting back. But I'm still waiting on them to kind of respond back to it.
It is critical to understand them. So I did my own research too. So we went to the military base. They have a book for all at the base. So all of the military personnel take one and keep it because they have a lot of information in there, a lot of promotion discount in there. So all of the military personnel, every one of them keep one copy. We can advertise in that booklet. So that is what we try to be in that booklet. So I can keep you posted. Ryan will help me working with them to see if we can be in that book. But military base have a kiosk in there is another way. I like to do things that I have high chance of success. If you look at the media kit that included, it has 40 pages. And there's many, many ways we can advertise. But at the end, it is advertisement. And it costs so much money. And we don't really know the effectiveness of it. So I just want to share with everyone 3 things that I want to do. 3 things. Advertise in the booklet. Every military base have one booklet. So if you live in San Diego, pick up one booklet for the military, bring it home and research how to advertise in there. We have military base around the country. There's so many. Okay. Virginia is a big one. There's many places. Try that first. The booklet, the kiosk where at the food court. Try that. That's another way. And then the third way I'm thinking is social media. I see that on page 36. If you look at page 36, they have a social media, and every post it costs $500. And I think that is still cheaper than the other method. Social media, we can post. So that is the third way that I want to advertise. It posts $500. I just need to learn more about their social media. How many members, who are in there, how effective it is. If there's a lot of members and active, then $500 is cheap. We can advertise 10, we can send 10 posts and one client will make it up. So it makes sense. So in any advertisement, you need to consider the effectiveness of it. With our pricing, our brand name, and if we can send a really good message in the post, we'll get attention. Any of you follow me lately? I've been posting on social media, and every time I post, I think so carefully. I think like hours so that I can come up with a good message. And then my post will draw so much attention. That is how you advertise. Money is important, but the message is also very important. The message that you send across. That's how I get so many clients. The message, very important. You should think about your audience more than you think about yourself. Okay? Xiaoling?
Hi, Tuan. Yeah, I would like to share some information from what I've observed from my friend who is a spouse of a military soldier. She is a Chinese born in America, and she told us a few information about that community. They rather work with the spouses, like partners, family members, like that kind of thing. Could be to do with the privacy issue or other things, but just wondering, like you said, maybe more effective way will be getting to know the realtor who work with VA a lot, and the spouse who has a VA, some VA title, like high level title, something like that, may more helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Xiaoling. Yeah, 100% correct. Somehow we have to make them trust us. That's why you notice that any loan officer that have ever served in the military will do better. It's strange. People just think like that. It's just ridiculous. But how do we change that perception? How do we change that perception? Just like last night, I post something on social media. I say, how come loan officers have to work with realtor to build relationship? Not the other way around. It's ridiculous. That's why the message is so important. We're trying to read people's mind, why they think like that, why they act like that. So this is something that I want to keep thinking about VA. It's good. I've been so busy, I never pay attention to VA until last week. So yeah, got Tom?
Yeah, I think your last statement touched the reason I raised my hand. I think based on common sense, you need to be one of them body in order to be successful. You need networking. Also, you need to donate based on the company, some kind of donation to their cause. So for a name like Great Home, I would have the least chance of being successful. So we need to be in reality and say the company to invest first on veterans LO for them to be involved in VA loans, and we can be on the supporting role to those loan officers of VA. So I think we need to be realistic. Instead of having the lowest rate is not enough on this kind of aspect. That's the point I would like to make. Thank you.
Perfect. I agree with you because I talked to another realtor this morning about VA, and she advised me that you know pretty well that they don't know anything about mortgage. They don't know about the rate. So if you tell them that you have low rate, they don't believe you. But then if we advertise that we'll give you $1,000 credit discount, military discount, they will love it. It's just ridiculous. But we have to play that game. We have to play that game. So I'm thinking about that in the ads or the message that we send out. We should do that. Okay? Just try it. The message is very important. And you try to make friends. You know, we all have to make a lot of friends, right? So if you happen to know a military person, be their friend and get to know more of military. I have I think one of our AO is served in the past. So what he does is he put on the suit, a military suit, and take picture and post it. That's a cool way to advertise too. You know, there's many ways. You keep thinking. Hey, Brian.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there's so I don't know if people have thought about this, but there's also another core out there that's not on the military that can be approached if you know how to do it. People that work for the CDC, NIH, and some of those other organizations, they're called the Public Health Corps, and they're eligible for VA loans as well. And sometimes you might even be able to just walk into those, and there's not a lot of them, I mean, necessarily like, you know, in those offices sometimes, but if you can get into like a CDC location that's not locked down or a government health agency, sometimes they have those commissioned core people in there, and they're eligible for those same loans that VAs are eligible, veterans are eligible for as far as home loans. So that's something to think about.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. If we think deeper, there's many ways we can do marketing, like CDC, Department of Homeland Security, or the government. And then I've been thinking about one area, like corporate discount. Like if we can go to, let's say, Cisco, Intel, Amazon, somehow connect to their HR department and say, hey, if an employee from Amazon do loan with Loan Factory, we give them $1,000 discount. We can do the same thing. This is something that I want to do for a long time. So if any of you can have connection to corporate HR, then please let me know, or please help me. I want to try it out. I want to do this. It's great. And I think Provident Funding has this. They are doing this. Hey, Justin.
Interesting topic, because I've been thinking of the same thing for the last couple of months, and I've done a lot of research. I've talked to a lot of people. Generating online leads or traffic seems to be most difficult for that niche. And from what I'm guessing that's due to some of the fact of the organizations, like you've mentioned previously, maybe taking up a lot of that ad spend or that market share. I have reached out to a couple of lenders I know who are very successful in the VA niche individually, both on retail side, and neither of them have served. And they both do a lot of VA business, and it's predicated on their social media presence. So that's the route that I'm going to initially take, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there, content, video. You have to know the VA, the handbook, so you can post questions and discussion and dialogue on that, which will get the consumer, the VA, borrower to recognize, like you, trust you. The agents who do business with them as well will see that and then start referring you business. And that's the model that these two individuals have taken. On the other side, as you just mentioned, I know a very large broker for one of another company, and he's probably the top loan officer in the company, or maybe the second, but he was he was enlisted, and he just contacted everybody that he knew over his 20-year career after he got out. And within 1 year, he was originating $100 million in business just from majority 80. I think he doesn't do any loans but VA. Anything that's not VA, he pushes to other loan officers. So, I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area, so we have a lot of military here, Pentagon, everything like that. So, there's caliber of borrower here. Typically, it's a very transient area. It's very high. So you're getting military officers typically that don't necessarily need to use the zero down component of the loan. They can put down 20 or 30%, but take advantage of the better rates that VA offers on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So that's kind of what sparked my interest in taking advantage of that. They're easier to do business with typically once you provide a better rate and show your experience. They're less apt to shop because they're on a timeline. They need to move. They're coming into the area. They don't have time like the $250,000 borrower to, I don't really know, I don't know what I'm doing, let me look at rates. When you provide them, hey, I'm a better rate, let's wrap this up. It's so to make a long story short, that's why I'm interested in that, in focusing on that niche as well.
So Justin, I think my conclusion is no matter what, I think we have to do social media. And I'm something just popped in my mind. I want to create a group to target them. So if any one of you thinking about that, we can do it together. We have the resource to build a group.
I
And
forgot to mention, I think both of these gentlemen who I talked to took a designation program for VA. And I think that designation facilitates in some way the projection of you as a VA specialist out to the general population of agents and consumers. I don't necessarily know if that's the key component in their success, but it certainly helps. And I think those courses are, I don't know, somewhere around $800 to $1,200 to go through that and join that designation group.
you should consider that. Also, some of the trade show that I know, they offer free class 1 day or 2 days, and then they give you a certification of VA specialist or something, and then you can use that to promote to the veteran. It's why not, right? It's something you can do, and I think it's good. I totally agree. Yeah, thank you, Justin. Larry.
Yeah. So one of the things I was going to mention is when you're talking to vets, I'm a vet myself, so I can speak to some of this. A lot of these guys, they want the no money out of pocket. The rate is great, but in the end, for a lot of these guys, is literally no cash out of pocket, which is important so that you know how to price the loan. That's what they're looking for, is no money out of pocket. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. And then know your guidelines, with residual income guidelines and whatnot. Don't put your vet in a position where it doesn't have enough residual income and all of a sudden you can't do the loan it wants to do. That's
Cool.
really
Thank you,
important.
Larry. Thank you, Larry. I think we have a training later this week from Rocket about VA loan. So I encourage everyone to attend. Yeah.
If your vet's looking for a condo and it's not approved, be prepared to work to get it approved.
Yeah. It's about condo, something about condo for VA, right? If
it's not on the VA list of approved condos, you actually have to send a package to the VA yourself. The lenders don't do it. It's not like FHA where you're going to get a spot approval with the lender. Most of them, they're just going to say, hey, you got to send the package to the VA yourself for approval.
Okay. I think we do have resources to do that. We will try that. Yeah. Hi, Anthony.
Antoine, one thing that I've noticed with the VA, which could be a problem if you're not correspondent in that state, is if you're going borrower paid, they only allow 1%. So you have to kind of go lender paid, or you're going to be over that 1% flat fee because you're not allowed to charge more than 1% the loan with all like the lender fees and everything that is included. So it might be tough to do like, $1,000 back or something like that while you're doing borrower paid to get them a lower rate. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yes. So with VA loan, we have to do lender pay or borrow pay 1% max or correspondent. And we are adding more states to the correspondent. Actually, we can do more than 4 states right now. It's just that we need to inform NMRS that we want to do correspondent or not. So it should happen very soon. We should have a lot more states for correspondent. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too, with the lender paid. I was just talking to Lindsay at Rocket about that you have to, that would include their administration fee with Rocket. So you have to exclude that. So your 1 point is just our 1 point. That makes sense?
Yeah, we can charge 1 point plus the admin fee.
No,
right?
you can't charge plus the admin. You have to put that in the pricing.
Yeah. Actually, I'm talking to Rocket about this. Yeah. We'll find out at the training. I think we will find out more about this. They will tell us. There's something I'm clarifying with them too. Okay. So, hey, Gautam, anyone have anything else to share? So what do you think? I mean, what would you do after the meeting? What do you think you will try? I'd love to hear. Esteban?
So the kiosk on the military base, what's the investment for that? Is that outlined in that PDF that you sent over?
I don't see that in there. So that's why we contact them. So basically, it's like a food court.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with it, and I think that's a really good idea.
Very
How would
good.
I go about? Do I just call the military base and see what I need to do?
Military base, they won't. I don't think they won't. They do this, but the link that we send, you can contact them. And
Okay.
also another way is go to the base yourself, check out the kiosks. I saw there's about 7 of them. You can talk to the people there, those kiosks, see who did they talk to, how much they pay for the kiosks. You can do that.
Oh,
That way you experience it. You see how many people in the food court and how much do they pay for that and all the activity there. And I think we should share the cost. 2 or 3 loan officer can share and be there like 2 days a week. Take turn.
and so I mean, but to get on the base, don't you have to have like a military? I've never been on a base before.
Let's have the active military base. You cannot be in there. But this is like a shopping center for military only. It's called NEX, Naval Exchange. So you go there. There are 2 sections. One big building is for shopping only. You cannot get in. It's for military only. But there's a food court right next to it, where there's a lot of only soldiers go there. Normal people like us, we never go there. So you go there, you see a food court. A lot of people go there to eat. They're all military, and you have exposure to them. You're gonna be there. You see them walk in and out all day. A lot of people. It's exactly like Costco. Imagine you have a kiosk right at the food court in Costco. That's how it is.
Yeah. I'm actually a quick question. Underwriting was you can only have 1 VA loan at a time, right? Or can you have 2 of them? So I'm working on an opportunity right now. Can a borrower have more than 1?
2, but there's only a certain amount of entitlement that you're allowed to have, and you're only allowed to renew that once. So if you're able to do it, I believe you're able to keep 1 as like a rental as long as you have enough entitlement left. And then you're able to, I think once you sell the house, you're able to get that entitlement back once. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's pretty close to that.
How do you check the entitlement status?
That's when they pull, I think, either the DD 214 or the certificate of eligibility, right, from the VA. There's like forget the, maybe you know, Tuan, there's like a VERS, I believe it's called.
Yeah, it'll say exactly on the certificate of eligibility once it's pulled how much entitlement they have left, and then there's a calculator. It's called bonus entitlement that you can use to figure out how much additional entitlement they have left, and that it'll tell you once you do that math, it'll tell you how much money they would need to put down on their new loan, depending on the loan size. So they can have 2, and they can reuse it, and it has to be reinstated. But typically, you know, if they sell their home and you're doing a new VA loan for them, usually the reinstatement, you could just use a HUD with the next lender for the, you know, the CD, and they'll take care of it. But yeah, bonus entitlement is what you want to look at. I'll find a worksheet and send it out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
And it's difficult to do at the same time because it has to be primary too. It cannot be for investment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Got Tom?
Yes, sorry, I was muted earlier. 1, don't get offended about my next comment or suggestion. In reality, I have an accent. I am not native to the United States. So you are smart. You are the strategy. You are the face of the company. If I were you, you can do everything else, the strategy, everything else. But I would suggest a native person to be the spokesperson or a communication director in order to target VA. There is a perception for somebody having an accent to be on their mind. They relate intelligence with, they don't know a person can be intelligent, do the best job, but having an accent is kind of a drawback in my situation. So I would suggest somebody other than you target VAs through the social media, if you find especially one of the VA veterans to be LOA. That's my comment. Thank you.
Got Tom. Thank you. I know my witness, same like yours. I have accent, but then we have to try to make it up. And that's why I want any one of you can do really well in VA and expand that. And I love to support any of you. So I would love to see all of us try out different things and then share with the rest of us because the market is so big. There's so many military base, so many veterans out there, right? So the market is big. If we can bring it out, exchange idea, learning, we all can be successful. And I would love to see one of you successful. And I'm willing to help you, or any one of you. So if you have any idea, you need help, let me know. I love that idea. Thank you. So Esteban, check out the kiosk. There's a lot of military base around the country. Check it out. Curry Chub. Check it out. Go to the food court. Just go to the food court and spend time, eat there, and get to know people there. It's also beneficial. I would do the same thing. You know, when people eat, they open up. You just sit down and hang out and talk to them. Hey, what are you? I mean, are you a military personnel? How long have you served? Just keep chatting. I know 100% they would love to chat with you and they share with you and they make friends with you. You know, it's so easy. It's not difficult. And then ask them, oh, when you come here, do you have to leave in the military? I'm curious. I don't know anything about military. When you serve, can you stay in the base or you stay outside? You stay outside, it's so expensive. How do you have money to pay? Yet play really naive and they would love to share everything they know. But then one step at a time, you make friends. That's how it works. You play your weakness to be your strength. Because people, if you're honest, this is my weakness. I don't know anything. They will help you. They will open up everything they share with you. This is how I know. Yet that's why you should not be afraid that you don't know anything about military. People will love to share. People will love to help you. And it's just that you have to go out there and do things. You have to do that. Everything else is by luck too. There's a lot of luck, but you need to expose in order to have luck. Expose by, that's why Esteban, if you have a kiosk there, you pair up with 2 more LO, 3 of you together, go there every 2 days a week. You can sit there, have a laptop there working, have a big monitor there working. Let people see that you are working hard. They walk by, every time they go there, they see you working hard, they pay attention. And then they will approach you and say, what are you doing here? And you get to find that way. Instead of working from home, close the door, in your room, which way is better? You work out there, it's better, much better. So I encourage all of you do this. And I want to see what happens. I support you 100%.
Thank you.
Xiaolan?
Yeah, adding up with Tuan's idea, I would suggest all the gentlemen in this meeting, bring your spouse, bring your girlfriend to those places, chat with that spouse, chat with that partner. Those people are more open to talk to you than military, I guess. And those spouse are more having time, wanting to dig in more about mortgage rate or what else, which the military spouse can't do. And meanwhile.
So yeah, thank you for Xiaolan for bringing it up. So I researched. One of the popular Facebook group is for military housewife. Very popular, very effective. It's not about military, but military housewife. They stay home, they don't do much, they don't work, so they go online, social media. They're the one that make decision, not the military, but the wives. So it's important. Seriously, I do want to see if we can launch a Facebook group for military. That's a great idea. It costs us almost nothing, and it's very stabilized. And even if you can help me, reach out to some of the group, see if we can buy that group. We buy the whole group. I would love that idea. Try it and let me know the result. Get to know the admin and see who owns the group. See if we can be the admin there, or if we can sponsor them something, 1,000 a month or something. Just sponsor them or help them out. Or if we can be a contributor, we can post a lot to help the members there. There's a lot of creative ways we can do. Okay, Terry?
Hey, Tuan. So yeah, I was doing some research on other guys who have been running this ad, so I don't know. I thought I'll show you what I did. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
So this guy runs a lot of VA ads. So when I look at his ads, it's all right. So you go to the ad details.
We lost you a little bit.
So there you go. Do you see it?
Yes.
So these are the form that he's using, questions, yes or no. And when you see the number of ads that he is using, it's a lot. And it's only for VA that he is running it.
Yes, that is what we're supposed to do. When any one of us, when you advertise, make sure you target one segment. Do not try to target everyone. That is why sometimes it's better to focus on, let's say me, I focus on Vietnamese or military, or just focus on one segment, on one area. Don't try to target everyone. This guy do the right way. He target VA only. Yes, Perry?
So yeah, can we run, something like this? I just want some marketing help, to just run these ads like this, create the form and integrate those forms integrated into, the Mozo.
Yes, yes. So what you guys can do is searching for all the ads or image about VA, and then ask marketing to create images for you. And then we can put all of those images into our website. So you can generate anytime to promote it. Yes, we can do this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can have an area called VA loan. We can generate all kinds of images for VA. These images, if you pay attention, these images are very basic, very simple. But I like this image more than fancy image. Everything is about a message. It needs to be simple, So yes, I like this idea. I think we should start targeting VA on social media. Can someone research for me if we can place an ad on Facebook to target just VA? Because I know that I've been doing advertisement to target loan officers. So you can pick a profession like a teacher or an engineer on Facebook. You can pick those to target. So let me tell my marketing team to research, or you can do your own research if you can place an advertisement to target VA only. Hey, Larry.
Hey, you guys can look into Homes for Heroes too. Homes for Heroes.
Yeah, but that, I take a look at that. It's just another company that.
Yep, it's a marketing tool.
Yeah, it's all marketing, and they are not that big, and they don't even tell how many packs of VA do they have. They don't tell us anything. I don't think it's right.
No, it's a marketing tool, and the key with it is, I've done it before, is really to, sorry about that, work with the lenders that are involved in it, because that when people go online, it's geared towards the realtors, excuse me. So it'll go first to a realtor, and if you're not connected with that realtor behind the scenes with Homes for Heroes and their Homes for Heroes, it just goes to any one of the Homes for Heroes lenders on the list. So basically you get all the agents that are signed up for Homes for Heroes and connect with them. And that way that stuff will come to you more likely. And it's not just vets. You get everybody in there, from, your nurses and police officers, and just give whatever discount you want to give. You don't have to give a specific discount.
Let's see.
One of my last company I worked for about 2 years ago, they actually have a DBA, which there was this completely separate company, and all he did was target, I believe it was Home for Vets or something like that, where that was their marketing. It was the same company, but they're doing business as, and they had a completely different name. It was basically ran under the same umbrella of the license, but they had a different name just basically for that type of loan. I'm trying to look it up just to find out exactly what the name was, but they did that specifically for the vets.
One of the loan officer here, Devin, he's a veteran, and he has a good name, and we might do a DBA for that name, and we all can share that name if you want to.
Yeah, Lending to Heroes was the name of it was a trade name, and it was just basically an extra name for that. But yeah, I think that, be a good marketing. We just have like a separate like website for, that. It just gives us a little bit more credibility, I guess, in that space, because it does kind of, when people look at, Veterans United and those types of businesses, they really do think that they belong to the government and stuff like that. So it does give it a little bit better if we're kind of going toward that. I think that's a good idea.
If any one of you have a good name, we can file DBA and we can use it together. I think Devin has a good name. Devin, are you still around? Or he just left? He's in Washington. He has a good name. So yeah, I'm open. I think the name is also important. I agree. Okay, thank you everyone. So when is the training? Do you know the training on VA? We have that yet?
No, we
Or,
don't have that yet, Antoine.
I think you should reach out to Lindsay and her team and Rocket to ask them.
Yes, I
When
already
is-
reached out and she hasn't responded to me yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, you share a link on the Ready Reserve part. I guess we're gonna do anything with that. Oh, veteran definition. Okay.
I mean, I have valending.us, but I'm not sure if actually it's going to get deleted on May 24th because I haven't renewed it, but I could renew it. I have up until the 24th. I don't know if like the .us is obviously not the greatest ending of a name, but I think a lot of the major ones for the .com were all taken.
I think we are open to buy the domain. I mean, think about how I can get moso.com or roomfactory.com. We have to pay for it. So we are willing to pay for it. It's just that the price would be right, not too expensive. So if any of you can find a good name and it costs money, that's fine. Just find out how much it costs and share with me. For me, I believe in investment. I'm okay to pay for a good name, for something that bring us the benefit. So I'm open for that. Don't give up. And I like you said, I hate using .us. It has to be .com. It's kind of funny. I know some broker that they are really cheap. They have a company name, but then they have to use the .net because the .com is taken, and it costs like 45,000. And I was thinking that should I buy it and then take all of their clients? 45,000 is nothing. Think about it. 10 clients, I make it up, and then forever I will take her clients. But I didn't want to do that. It makes sense. 45,000 is nothing. Imagine loanfactory.com is taken, and I have to use loanfactory.net. Whoever owns that will make so much money. You cannot. You pick a name. The name have to be available to you. The .com has to be available. Macy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. AmericanVA.com is available for $6,200. I just sent you the link in the chat.
American dot what?
AmericanVA.com. Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cedo. It's a good place to buy like secondary domains. Veteran Home Loan is available for $9,900. Veteranloan.com, $25,000 they want for that. But Loan Veteran, there's a bunch of one here. I just put literally Veteran Home Loan, and it gives you like, just ones that are actually up there for sale right now, and just the price that they're there, and basically, you can obviously offer less or not, but yeah, any good names. I mean, if I find, I'll send over to you guys.
Yeah. If anyone can create a Google Sheet, put down the name and the price, and share with everyone else, then whoever have any name available with the price, share that so that we can decide which one is good and we can buy that. Yeah. Thank you for a great idea. I love it. I think we all learn a lot. And yeah, we can, Loan Factory, it makes sense to buy a good name for everyone to use. We can, instead of using Loan Factory, we can use another name. But it's just a thought. Let's try it out. We can also, using our correspondent channel, we can promote $1,000 credit to all VA. We can do this. All of these are marketing. It will help us so much. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Just keep in mind, we can have another section maybe next month to talk about this too. Also, the two things I want to remind everyone. Early June is the All Access event. If you have never been in an event like that, I would love I would love to see you join it. It's a fun event. You can learn a lot. So just try to come to the RSS event early June. I think June 6th and 7th. That is the first thing. Second thing, I want to ask your opinion about the email I sent out this morning about plan for life. I removed that policy. But then there's a question. Let's say, Curry, you have a loan, you have a client, you help them. Everything until the loan is, you submit the loan. But then another loan officer will come and say, oh, that client should belong to me. Is that okay to get assigned to the new loan officer? Or
Are you looking for people to handle that?
yeah, I want to feedback. What do you think?
Well, we've run into that before in the past. What we've done has the client actually gets to stay with his original loan officer. The new loan officer will close it, and they'll split the commission. That way, the longtime loan officer keeps his client, paid something because he's still working with that customer's working with our company, and the new loan officer that worked on the file will still get paid as well.
So where's the line? Where should we draw the line? You know, when point, at what point, the client should belong to the new loan officer 100% and not split it up.
When that old loan officer's not with the company anymore.
I don't know. I disagree. I think if they want to work with a new loan officer, maybe something happened with the old loan officer, they don't get along with them, they don't want to work with them anymore, and the new loan officer is doing the entire transaction, then it should be theirs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I understand that. And I think if that's communicated, I would agree.
So to be fair, let's say this. To be fair, Loan Factory should just be a platform, right? So let's say a client working with Larry, submit the loan approved. And now the client somehow, for some reason, whatever reason, there's so many possible reasons that the client want to work with Melissa. I mean, with other company, they would say, okay, client want to work with Melissa, we have to drop the loan. And then Melissa have to start all over. But that means will damage the relationship with the client. And, you know, the loan already approved. Why would we want to drop it and Melissa have to start the new loan from the beginning? It makes sense that the client should be the one that design everything, of course. But what if the new LO say, hey, go with me, I give you a better rate because I make less on my commission. You know, that will be a bad situation.
That I agree with. We don't need to be cutthroat with each other. I mean, in the end, we are a team, and everything we do reflects on all of us. So we don't want to be cutthroating each other at all.
I would agree. And one of the first questions I ask my customers is, how did you hear about me? So I know where that lead's coming from.
So in the past, let me share with you the past. The client for life is they are your client forever. But then if for some reason the client is not happy with you, I still don't allow them to change. But we can come up with many different policies. We can require the client to write a letter to just like Rocket. With Rocket, if we change broker, let's say another broker helping the client and want to work with us, then the client just need to write a letter, say they want to work with Loan Factory instead of ABC Mortgage. Then Rocket will switch it to us. So we can have a similar policy. If we make it a little bit harder for cheating or for, to prevent problem. It's tough.
That's when I was in wholesale, that's if someone else brought in a loan under a different account exec, they literally just went to the broker, and whoever got the letter from the client saying who they wanted to work for is what they basically who ended up getting the loan. And it just basically, I think it just puts the client first in that situation.
Can I say something in regards to that? I think it makes sense for the client for life to have a percentage. So let's say 20% for you to bring in somebody to Loan Factory. And if later on they get solicited by somebody else from Loan Factory and then they do the homework, and the legwork to actually close a loan, they get the remainder because it was somebody else's original client.
But it's very hard to keep track and judge and pay. Those are very complicated. We want everything to be simple. So right now, my plan is to allow the client to change to the new LO only if the loan has not been approved by the lender, and keep it simple like that. If it's submitted already, it's too late to change. We won't allow that. If it's early in the process and the client wants to, then we will allow that. But I'm debating whether we have to ask for proof. Like, should I ask the new loan officer, have you been working with the client or not? Yeah, some kind of proof that you've been helping them rather than cheating. But I don't want to be, the company don't want to be the judge. Sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes it's a lot of work to be in the middle to decide what happened. So the policy, I want to be very simple and fair. It's a policy everyone has to follow. That's it. I'm sorry, it's the policy. So
As long as we're being ethical.
what do you think about, let's say the client just closed a loan with me last month and now end up to go with another loan officer. It's hard to know if it's ethical or not because we don't know if the reason behind it. Nobody knows. Remember, Loan Factory gonna grow bigger and bigger. There will be thousands of loan officers. And we don't know who is good, who is bad. How do we determine if it's ethical or not?
With automation, I guess it would be easy for you to track each loan. And I think it would make sense if you had some kind of a client for life percentage. That would be kind of like a finder's fee. People pay finder's fee everywhere anyways.
Yeah. Right now, our platform detect, let's say the client worked with Larry, now work with Anthony. So the system will automatically email Larry and Anthony, say, hey, this client belongs to Larry, now work with Anthony. So that will help increase the visibility so that Larry can have a chance to talk to the client and say, hey, what happened? I helped you before, but now why you go with Anthony? So give everyone a chance to talk to the client. It's already happened. We have that feature already.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, to allow Larry and Anthony both work with the client so the client can decide who they want to work with. So it's already there. So let's try the new policy that the client will determine who they want to work with. If it before the loan is approved by the lender, then the client will decide. We will go with that for now. Let's try it out, and then if we run into problem, we can discuss more in the future. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see you again soon. Thank you.